Making sure your numbers are correct is the number one important skill when it comes to success in house flipping, especially when you're tackling a almost 100-year-old home like this one. Let me take you through this Spanish-style home from the 1930s that we're about to flip, and in the end, I'm going to share with you the things to look out for so you can leave with the most profit every time. Welcome. Now we're in the formal entryway. This entryway has this really interesting pendant light, and I'm fascinated by the pattern that it leaves on the ceiling. We have an antique doorbell over here. The ceiling and the walls are cracked and peeling, and we definitely need new sheetrock and new paint. And then we have parquet floor on the ground, and they need to be refinished, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. And then on this side, we have the living room and also access to the upstairs bedrooms and bathrooms. And on the other side, we have the kitchen and dining room. I was so pleasantly surprised by this beautiful, beautiful living room. First of all, we have high ceilings that's vaulted. That's such a nice feature. And the beams are so pretty and gives the ceiling dimensions. And then this nice big arch window is very cool, but unfortunately it's boarded up and there's a lot of dry rot on the bottom that we need to repair, but once we restore it, it's gonna be so pretty. This fireplace has so many intricate details and it's very classic. Once we restore it, it's going to be a showstopper, so I can't wait to bring this home back to life. The dining room is so grand. We have a chandelier that's cool looking, but also kind of antique. And we definitely have to replace it. And then the walls are similar to the other rooms that's very cracked and peeling, so it needs a lot of repairs. And then the double doors really is unnecessary for this space, so we plan to remove those as well. Right next to the dining room, we have a very decently sized breakfast nook area. It's covered with wallpaper, but it's peeling off and it's ugly. And then the window, the seal is broken and then the trim is missing, so it needs to be completely replaced. And then we have this little glass door that's quite odd because it leads to just a part of extended roof. There's no deck or railings or anything, so it's very scary. We want to replace it with a window instead, so there's no safety hazard. After seeing the generously sized dining room and breakfast nook, it's quite surprising to come into this tiny little kitchen, and it's super filthy. We have filth on the countertops, all over the floors, and the ceiling is peeling off big time. It's just falling apart. And then the vent over there is so bad that I haven't seen something like this for quite some time. And then these cabinets are so old school, and there's honestly not much cabinets to begin with. And then there's this built-in cabinet that's so dirty and it has a little hole in the wall that goes to the outside. I don't know what this is for. It really needs so much work, but first of all, we've got to figure out how we can add more space into this, because for a modern household, this is just too enclosed and too small. We have this challenge because the door over here leads to the basement that I'm going to show you later. And then there's the small closet over here. It's probably a pantry as well. And then the fridge is in this corner. And it's just really oddly laid out. And without relocating this door, we have no way of expanding the kitchen. So we spent a lot of time in here trying to figure out a plan, and finally we decided to relocate the entrance to the basement to the entryway area where the closet was. So that would allow us to pretty much remove this whole corner and expand the kitchen this way. So it's more of a regular shape, and it's also going to be a lot bigger and more functional. The second level is not any better than the first. First of all, we have some tape on the carpet. I think they were trying to repair it, but the carpet was still coming off of the floors. And then the ceiling corner is really coming off, and then we have these coming off the walls. So this entire walls and ceilings need to be redone. And then upstairs we have 3 bedrooms and only 1 bathroom currently, so there's no primary bedroom, and we definitely need to add a new primary bedroom by adding a new ensuite bathroom. The first bedroom is pretty decently sized, but there are a lot of dark spots on the wall, probably mildew spots that need to be cleaned off and also repaired. And then this closet is quite something. I can't really figure out. Probably we have some water damage from a leaked roof previously, but it needs so much work in here to get it into a decent shape. Even though there's only 1 bathroom upstairs, this bathroom is split into 2. So we have a toilet room and another room with the rest of the fixtures. So this room has the filthiest sink I've ever seen, and then a tub that's also don't know what's going on there, and then there's even a tiny little shower here, and it's again like the most gross shower I've ever seen. If we were to put a guest bathroom in here, we don't really need separate rooms or this much space. So we plan to take this wall back up here so we could give this space to the bedroom adjacent so it can have a closet, and that would allow us to add a primary bathroom, and it would really be a game changer. So I'm going to talk about that plan right after this. This second bedroom was probably used as an office before because you can see the shelf system on the walls. On the floor over here, there's a lot of dry rot, and you can see through the holes in there into the basement. So this is very extensive damage that we have to repair. And then the closet over here, we plan to give to the primary bedroom on the other side so that we could create a new bathroom. So that made it very important for us to take the space from the tub that I was just talking about so that we could add a new closet for this bedroom. So this is going to be the new primary bedroom. Right now it's just a big room because there's no attached ensuite. And we have wall-to-wall floral wallpaper, and also the windows are failing. As you can see, the seals coming out, so we have to repair or replace the windows. And then on this side we have a secondary closet over here, and over in this corner is where the closet to the other bedroom is, and we plan to take that space and also use part of this bedroom space so that we can have a bathroom and also a bigger closet, so that in this new primary bedroom there will be an ensuite and also plenty of closet space, because that's really what the buyers are looking for. From the doorway in the kitchen, we get to the basement, and there's the pantry looking shelves with a lot of liquors and other household items. And then this basement is really a gold mine, because on this side we have a regular size 2-car garage that can end right here, and then the rest of the space can be made into living space that can add a lot of value to this home. And then in the garage over here, we have a heavy-duty safe. This is really a big thing that's going to take a lot of effort to be removed. And then we have some old Coke brewing over there, not sure what happened to them. And then we also have some lights and chandelier that were probably collected over decades. Then we have this half bath that was probably unpermitted, and we are thinking about expanding it into a full bathroom. So the living space that we're going to create in this basement will have a functional bathroom. Over there, the space has very low ceilings, so it can probably be used as storage later on. But then the rest of this area can be made into a new family room, and that's going to be a really good selling point of this home. But we do have to relocate a lot of these pipes and ducting that's very low. From the door in the garage, we get to this backyard. It's pretty messy right now, but it has very good space. We probably want to trim down this tree that's overgrowing and also remove a lot of the junk over here. This shed in the back is very ugly and it's not well done. So we're going to get rid of it, and so we'll have a ton more space to put new landscaping in. At the end, we have a fence that's kind of falling apart, so we are going to redo the fence as well, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to make this a very family-friendly space. This home was probably super cute back in the day, but now it's so run down. This front yard hasn't been kept for a long time, so it's full of weeds, and there's even a deserted desk. On the other side of the home, there's some big bushes, and they're very unsightly. And then the window is boarded up, so it's hideous. And then towards the entrance of the home, you see a lot of dark, moldy spots, and it makes the home feel like it's been abandoned. And there's even a handle of an axe on the floor. I don't know where that came from, but the light and the front door are super cute, and we probably want to refinish those. The whole house needs a fresh coat of paint and a lot of repairs on the roof, but we're going to take care of all of that. Now let's talk about the things to look out for when renovating an older home. I think the first and the most important thing is really to make the layout make sense. A lot of times older homes have very old design and the layout doesn't really function for modern households. For example, in this home, the kitchen is so tiny and very enclosed. And if you keep the kitchen as is and just remodel it, it's probably not going to be desirable for future buyers. So you really want to make sure that you reconfigure the layout so that you give the kitchen enough space, and that's going to really be a good selling point when you resell the house. And second, you want to make sure that for older homes, you budget enough for all the necessary upgrades, because older homes tend to have older infrastructure like older windows, older plumbing, electrical, HVAC. So it's going to cost a lot more money compared to newer homes when you renovate. The third thing is the character of the home. Sometimes you want to preserve those characters without removing it all, because a lot of times buyers are seeking some character in the homes, the old world charm. And for example, this house, we have the wood accents, we have the arched doorway, and also the very intricate fireplace. These are all character that will probably be very attractive to new potential buyers. Without further ado, let's get to the numbers. I purchased this home for $1.5 million, and we plan to put almost $300,000 into the renovation because the house needs so much. And we hope to sell the house for $2.2 million, so that's going to give us a very nice margin. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.